Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel Discovering Gardens. Really lovely to see you here. Thanks for joining me. This week I'm going to be introducing my series on inspiring gardens, inspiring planting schemes from these beautiful gardens that you can bring into your own gardens. So this week I'm going to start with exploring Kew Gardens, a garden that's very close to my heart. I used to work at Kew Gardens. I worked there for about 5 years in a couple of different roles. And the one thing that I really loved was on my break, going off around the gardens and just soaking up the environment, exploring the planting schemes. So these gardens really are a fantastic space to draw that inspiration for your own gardens, but they're not always that easy to get to for everyone. So I hope that through these videos, you'll be able to draw some inspiration for your own gardens. So if you like what you see, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share with your loved ones. So let's start exploring Kew Gardens together. So the first thing that you're greeted with when you're coming into the gardens, you've got this incredible rose garden, which I have to say at the moment is so beautiful, my word. And that's because in May and June, the rose flowers are all starting to come into bloom. They're all starting to really thrive, and the colours and the fragrance is just incredible. And these are things that you can be bringing into your own garden as well. So I will make a few suggestions for you. I will make sure that I include the plant names in the description, and you'll see them in the video here as well. So I do encourage you to take notes and start building your own shopping list. So as I said, when you come into Kew Gardens, you've got this fabulous rose garden. You can see here we've got Rosa Kew Gardens, which is the sweetest little teacup, very open flower, very beautiful. They're really good for bees actually, these open flowers, because they're perfect little sort of landing pads for them. As you move through, you're going to Rosa Shepherdess, this full double flowered rose, which is so fragrant, really beautiful. And then you look beyond the roses and it opens up to that fantastic landscape of the palm house. And my goodness, what a scene to be greeted with. Now, this is a technique that can be taken into your own garden. It's really good when you're designing your space to be thinking of concealing certain areas, keeping them hidden or secret, not exposed quite yet. So this is a really fantastic technique to use in your own garden. It's really good when you're coming into your garden that you don't see everything all at once, that it's not all revealed at the same time. A really good thing to do is to design your space so you have clever planting which leads you around your space, and then you reveal certain parts of your garden. Perhaps it's a summer house, perhaps it's a seating area. There's lots and lots of ways of making your garden more interesting by using this technique. Now, as you come through the rose garden and past the palm house, you come to the very beginning of the broadwalk borders. Now, this is the largest herbaceous border in the country, and my goodness, it is beautiful. At the moment, everything is coming into bloom. It's really thriving. And you begin your journey with this fabulous plant here, which I couldn't recommend enough for your own gardens if you've got a sunny space. This is Baptisia australis, and it is stunning. You can see it's covered in bees. It comes from the pea families and they have such a vibrant colour. And then as we move up the border, oh my word, the drifts of planting that are revealed are just so stunning. Here you can see these sweet little Tiarellas down at the bottom here, followed by the Astrantias. I absolutely adore Astrantias. The little button shapes on the flowers are just really gorgeous, and they come in the most fabulous colours as well. And then as your eye moves up, you move through these fantastic ferns and these spires of flowers. This is a very beautiful little foxglove species, which it just looks so striking, having spires of flowers coming out of the other more undulating planting. It's a really lovely thing to use in your own displays. And here you can see we start with the alchemilla, those beautiful acid yellow flowers, moving on to the geum totally tangerine. My goodness, the geums are just fabulous. This year they are really thriving. And you will find as well, these will also get completely covered in bees. They're wonderful. Moving up, we've got this blue star flower here, and then into the irises. Then as you see to the back of the space, you can see all the alliums are coming into bloom now as well. You can see those lovely little spherical shapes just in the distance there. They haven't quite come into bloom yet, but they are ready to burst, and they are going to be so striking, so beautiful. And a little further up the border, we have this magnificent Salvia gemensis. This one is called Nat Linda. I actually have this in my own garden, and my goodness, it's beautiful. The colour is so striking, that awesome blackcurrant colour, and the leaves smell of blackcurrant. Just fabulous. So when you rub your fingers on there, or even when you just sort of brush past it, you get this huge cloud of blackcurrant scent come up to you, and it's absolutely delightful. Really, really lovely to bring that sensory element into your space. And again, you can see that the bees absolutely adore this plant. So you've got so many fabulous plants in this border, which the bees just go absolutely mad for. Now you've got wonderful drifts of planting which are just ready to come into bloom here behind the salvias as well. Salvias really are the stars of the show for now, but then you move up, you've got perovskias to the side, you've got the phlomis at the background, more of those wonderful alliums beyond. What they've done here, they've framed this fabulous view of the hive in the background. So this is something that you can do in your own garden as well. If you've got a lovely focal point in your garden, say a beautiful tree, for example, you might have an amazing cherry tree or perhaps a silver birch in your garden, which just looks gorgeous. But you've got to think about how your eye is going to be led up. What's the journey you're going to take up your garden to get to this focal point? And they do it really, really beautifully in this space. Here we've got fantastic Salvia nemorosa. I think this is Caradonna, and my word, just those beautiful spires of flowers are just so striking. You've got the phlomis to the left, you've got the alliums to the right. These alliums are all in bloom already. You can see how many bees are buzzing around them. I mean, it's really, really a fantastic sight to behold. Again, blues and purples against yellows, really, really fantastic planting combination. They just make each other sing, as you can really, really see. Then you get these wonderful drifts of geraniums. This one's called Orion, and it's such a gorgeous variety. You can see how prolific it is. Absolutely wonderful. In the background there, you've got Veronicastrum fascination, which will come into bloom in the not too distant future, and that is going to be wonderful. These incredible spires of flowers, once again, they got a lovely pinky shade to them, and they really are stars of the show once they come out. You've got more of those wonderful alliums which drift through the planting border, and then you've got the delphiniums in the background there in the top left, which are giving that wonderful height to the back of the border. Really lovely. Now we have more of that fantastic vibrant Salvia Caradonna. My word, that with that grass up against the back of it, beautiful, beautiful forms, again, full of bees. And that drift of purple, my goodness, it just shows you, you know, you can choose a whole selection of plants for your garden. You can put single plants in. If you've got a small space, okay, it works fine. But if you've got a bigger space, you know, really think about introducing 3 or 5 or 7 or 9, you know, however much space you can use to create these beautiful drifts, almost like brush strokes going through your border. You know, think about how they weave in amongst each other. It really will create the most striking display, as you can see here. Now I'm just going to take you up to the Queen's Garden. I have to say, this is probably my favourite part of the gardens. It's the medicinal garden. So all the plants in this garden are useful, and they have fantastic interpretation in here where they will talk about how the plants can be used. I just think it's so beautiful and abundant. It really is a gorgeous, gorgeous space, and it's so quiet as well. So it's right behind the Kew Palace, and I really recommend going and taking a look. As you enter the garden, you've got these fantastic arches that give you this view into the main space, and my goodness, it's so serene and it's incredibly beautiful. And as you enter the garden, you've got this magnificent arch which has laburnum trees climbing up it. And my goodness, what a fantastic show. The laburnums are in flower at the moment. We're in May right now. And as you can see, those gorgeous yellow golden flowers that hang down from the arch, and you get the beautiful leaves as well that create that dappled shade, just little bits of dappled light coming through. Absolutely stunning. Now, these are a wonderful choice if you are looking for a plant that can climb over arches. As you can see here, this is a really super example of it. And earlier in the spring, actually, there was even more flowers. It was far more prolific than it is even now, but I did manage just to catch it at the end of its season. Now, every year I try to get down to Kew Gardens to see the laburnum, and every year it is just as special, just as beautiful. So I really recommend taking a visit if you can. So that's it. That's everything that I'm going to show you at Kew Gardens for today. But later in the year, I will do another video so you can see how the planting really, really develops as the year moves on. I hope from these videos it will give you some ideas for your own garden, planting ideas, ways to actually do your planting. You know, if you want to have those beautiful drifts, if you want to have beautiful plants climbing over arches, just gives you that inspiration, that encouragement, that confidence to do this in your own garden. Now, I hope you've liked what you've seen here today. Now, if you did, please do like, please subscribe to my channel. I would love to see you here more often. And please do share with your loved ones as well. If you've got anybody who might be interested in plants, make sure they subscribe to this channel. So stay tuned for the next 30 seconds if you want to learn a bit more about discovering gardens. And otherwise, that's all from me for this week. So thanks so much for joining me. Bye for now. Thank you so much for joining me today. I'm a UK-based garden designer helping home gardeners and garden professionals choose beautiful plants with confidence. Check out my website to find out about my planting and garden design advice packages, my talks and courses, and opportunities to collaborate. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share with your loved ones. Until next time, bye for now.